Upon the gauntlet of power, the Ultramarines on board were all slaughtered, leaving the ship's corridors slicked with blood and viscera of human and post-human remains. The men of iron began to interface with the systems of the vast ship, continuing to chant their robotic mantra, proclaiming death to the traitors. As the cybernetic constructs began to merge with the ship itself, they assumed direct control of the vast craft, turning it against the rest of the Ultramarines' fleet, opening fire with its vast lance and torpedo batteries. Rogel Dawn, watching from the phalanx, was stunned. What was Guilliman's Legion doing? He ordered the fleet to destroy the rogue craft, and as the vessels nearby opened fire upon the gauntlets of power, the ship itself began to split and buckle as its structural integrity began to fail. The ship fired its sublights engines at full speed into the heart of the Ultramarines' fleet, and then an uncontrolled warp jump was activated, causing a yawning warp rift that devoured dozens and dozens of ships with a flash of crackling energy before closing. Rogel Dawn was dumbfounded. Who in their right mind would attempt such a suicidal move? But the War Master began to receive even worse news. The Raven Guard fleet was forced to flee, and the Death Guard was fast approaching to reinforce the Loyalists. Rogel Dawn raged, ripping monitors off the walls around him and hurling them with all of his might, causing them to shatter in an explosion of metal and glass. The tide was fast turning against him. It was time to make a dangerous gambit. The Emperor sat upon the Golden Throne, using his immense power to keep the warp tear caused by Jagatai Khan in check. Malkador approached him to report the progress of the battle. The traitors would soon breach the palace gates. The Legio Custodi stood ready, clad in power armor, tactical dreadnought armor, and including mighty dreadnoughts. The doors to the throne room opened, and the Primarchs Horus, Perturabo, and the wounded Angron entered, along with several marines from the Lunar Wolves, World Eaters, and Iron Warriors. Time was running out, and it looked as if this would be their last stand. The Emperor then received a psychic vision. Rogel Dawn had challenged the Emperor to a final showdown on board the Phalanx. The Emperor needed to act fast. This could be the final decisive blow needed to end the rebellion once and for all. The Emperor instructed Malkador to take his place upon the Golden Throne, to keep the spilling energies of the warp in check, while the Emperor would deal with his wayward son himself. Horus, Perturabo, and Angron all demanded they fight alongside their father, but the Emperor decreed that the defences still needed to have a commander. Perturabo was chosen to remain in command of the defence of the palace, much to his dismay, but he agreed nonetheless. Horus Lupercal stated to his most trusted warriors, Garviel Loken, Ezekiel Abaddon, Tarek Torgadon, and Malagos the Twisted, known collectively as the Mournivore, to aid Perturabo and act as his ears and eyes, relaying his orders to the Astartes. The Emperor then turned to Ezekiel Abaddon, captain of the Lunar Wolves' First Company. The Emperor gave a special order to him, to hunt down and kill any and all enemy commanders, to weaken their resolve. Abaddon would become the Emperor's champion. The Emperor activated the great teleportation device within the throne room, and the Loyalists soon found themselves upon the twisted vessel known as the Phalanx.